What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the 4th and 12 podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Chris. Chris, how's it going?
It's going good. How are y'all doing today?
Hope everyone's doing good. The big news today, Miles Garrett to the Rams. So it looks like the deal is Miles Garrett to the Rams for Jared Verse and 3 picks. You got a first round next year, a second round 2028, and a third round in 2029. As a Seahawk fan, this is devastating, honestly. I'm just going to hand it off to you, Chris. What were your first impressions of this? And, now we've had a little bit of time to think about it. What are your thoughts now?
Well, my first thought when I saw it is, what did the Rams give up to get him? Right, is kind of what I was thinking. I mean, I was expecting
Yeah.
it to be an absolute haul.
Yeah.
I was thinking multiple firsts, multiple seconds. Comes to find out, the Browns run their trading and front office like they do their drafting and their whole team together.
Yep.
Because apparently they got him for Jared Verse, a first, a second, and a third, which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. When everyone was talking about speculation of Myles Garrett getting traded, you were thinking bare minimum 2 first rounders, and then maybe even a second, maybe a third on top of that, maybe a player, maybe 2 first rounds and a player. But just to trade one player, 1 first round pick, and then 2 other picks later in the draft, the Browns got finessed, I think.
Yeah, no, they definitely lost that trade. I mean, if you just go, I know it's a different player, different position, but if you look at that Russell Wilson trade that he had with Denver, or that Seahawks had with Denver, I mean, they gave up 2 firsts, 2 seconds, Drew Lock,
multiple players.
Multiple players.
Noah Fant, defensive linemen, they gave up
an
insane amount of money or insane amount of capital for Russell Wilson.
And I know it's a different player, different position.
Different time.
But people will argue that, well, even though that's a thing, Myles Garrett had a no trade clause, so he could turn down any offer like that. Well, so did Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson had no trade clause in his contract. The Eagles wanted to trade for Russell Wilson, and they were willing to give up Jalen Hurts and a bunch of draft picks to try to get him, but Russell Wilson said no, he didn't want to go to Philadelphia. Right. So, I mean, I don't know. I think the Rams definitely bamboozled the Browns into giving up Myles Garrett, which is absolutely crazy to me. I mean, holy crap. What a pickup for them. I mean, good for them, but what are you doing over there, Cleveland? For real.
Yeah, I'm sure obviously Rams fans are ecstatic. This is probably the best news they got since they got Matthew Stafford. And look what happened when they got him. They ended up winning the Super Bowl. So, you get one of the best defensive players ever, especially coming in. He's good. He's about to be 31, I think. He's still in the prime of his career. He just broke the sack record last year, and now he's going to one of the best teams in the NFL. That's just insane. Obviously, as a Seahawks fan, I wanted him for our team. I would have been willing to give up 2 first rounders and maybe a second or a third to get him for sure.
Yeah.
They gave up Jared Verse, which no slouch on Jared Verse. He's a really good player too, very young too. So
he's a really good young player. Yeah, he has a lot of upside.
A lot of potential.
But he doesn't have Myles Garrett upside. Let's just
He's not there
yet.
I mean, obviously, it's next to impossible for him to get to that point at this point of his career. But who knows? His first 2 years in the league has been pretty solid, and I'm not saying that he's going to be as good as him throughout his career, but he is definitely going to be probably a top 5 to 10 defensive end in the league. Do you agree?
No, I don't. I've watched him play. He's a good player. I don't know about. I mean, he might be between 5 and 10.
Yeah.
I think he's more in the 15, 20s. I look at him kind of like how I look at like a Boye Mafe or like a Derek Hall.
Okay. I would say Verse is better than both of those players for sure.
I wouldn't. I mean, I watched him in the NFC Championship game disappear. So
yeah. There's moments and times when people have their games or not. Just last year when they played the Vikings and Sam Darnold, he went off and I think he had a strip sack for a touchdown. So, players have their games. But I think, he is a great player and he could potentially be better. But for just that plus a first round, I mean, the first and second or the second and third is nice. But man, for that great of a player as Myles Garrett, you would have expected at least 2 first rounders. And I feel like that's where I'm stuck at, where it's hard for, to do that trade.
Right. And that's the thing that I have a question about is, what are we doing, Cleveland? What's our goal here? I mean, are we looking to draft a quarterback of the future? Is that why we're making this trade? If so, why are we only getting one first-round pick?
Yeah,
I mean, they're
and you know that pick's gonna be 30th and beyond. It's
yeah,
not gonna be a top
yeah.
10 pick. It's not gonna be a top 15 or even 20 pick. It's gonna be literally the 31st, 32nd pick.
And I'm sorry, but if you guys are any good this year and say that you pick in 10th and you get the Rams 30th, 31st, 32nd pick, whatever it turns out to be, you know, are you going to be able to package that together to move up in the draft? I don't think so. I mean,
I
nobody's
don't
going
think
to
so
want that.
either.
Nobody's going to want that. I mean,
No.
now if you throw 3 picks at him, you may be able to talk some, talk some ball and get moved up, but
They're
I don't
obviously in
know.
the recovery stages of, their franchise, and you would have expected at least another first round for 2028 if you're trying to really rebuild. Like, you wanna
Yeah.
get that first round talent. You wanna get those blue chip players, but they didn't, and I wonder that makes me think of what other, trade, partners they had in mind too. I know the Seahawks were probably in the conversations. I saw the Eagles and the Cowboys. What other offers did they get that where they're like, nah, we want the LA pick. We want
Well,
Jared Verse.
it was rumored that if Seattle was going to do a package with them, that they would have to trade Byron Murphy, and Seattle ain't trading Byron Murphy. I'm sorry, he's a better
No.
player than Jared
It,
Verse.
I agree with that. In different position too, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to trade that plus a first, potentially 2 first and Byron Murphy. There's no way I would have wanted to do that. I
nope.
trust too much in the organization, and we do have a lot of picks going forward next year. I think we have 12 at this point now, which is nice. And to give up that much, I just hate that it's the Rams. If it was any other team,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have felt like this. But honestly, I would have rather us give up, 2 first rounds and maybe Derek Hall to prevent the Rams from getting him, Miles Garrett. But obviously that's not the case. And the Rams they won the lottery. And on top of it, getting those 2 corners from Kansas City, their team is scary. Going position group by position group, they're tough. I think they were favorites to win the Super Bowl before this trade, and now they have to be even more so. Obviously, like
yeah,
exponentially more so with Myles Garrett.
yeah. No, they definitely set themselves up to do it. I mean, that's the great thing about the NFL, though. Any given Sunday, something bad can happen, or someone can get hurt, or I'm
Hmm.
not wishing injury upon anybody, but you just never know. And with the Seahawks playing them, at the end of the year, it's
Hmm.
a very favorable matchup for them because you're gonna be facing the Rams at the end of the season after they've done battle. People are hurt, people are coming
Yep.
back. It's a favorable matchup for them regardless. I mean, yeah, to make it 16, 17 games without getting hurt is tough to do in the NFL these days.
Yep.
So we'll have to wait
Yeah.
and see.
That's very true. You do have to play the games. That's the other part of this. And you never know, maybe the team really liked Jared Verse too. Maybe the locker room's going to be a little shooken up after this. But, to replace Jared Verse with Myles Garrett, I would do that every day of the week.
Oh yeah.
Anything else on this topic that you wanted to touch on?
No. Oh, I do have something I want to say. Actually, Cleveland fans, we feel for you. We are out here. We feel for you. We root for you guys. We want you to succeed. Maybe they need to move the team and start over again. Maybe it's time to do something different because this is
I've
whatever
heard
the
some Cleveland fans are happy about this.
well. If you're happy about it, then kudos
Good
to
on
you. But
you.
if you're that fan, yeah, if you're that fan that's in the dumps right now because you finally have a blue chip player, the first one you've had, and since Joe
Forever.
Thomas was there,
Yeah, Joe Thomas. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. I really, really feel bad for you. And, hopefully it turns around for you guys. You can figure it all out. So,
For sure. And I wanted to add one more thing too. This is the most all in thing that the Rams could have done besides sign Matthew Stafford again for another year. If they don't win this year, that is rough on that organization, honestly, because then maybe you got one more year, but again, you still got to sign and pay Myles Garrett. And then, like you said over text message, you got to sign and pay Puka Nakua.
yep.
It's gonna be a tight pocket they got over there in LA. And if they don't win it this year or next year, I think they're just going to have to, take a back seat for a few more years after that, and they're going to feel real stupid if they don't come out with at least one Lombardi the next 2 years.
Well, it's all within Matthew Stafford's timeline, right? If Matthew Stafford retires in 2 years, then we know that it's all for naught if they don't win a Super Bowl in the next couple of years. Because I'm sorry, but I don't think their quarterback, Ty Simpson, is going to be very good. I'm not sold on him.
Yeah.
I think the Rams screwed up taking him 15th or 13th overall. I'm not very sold on him. I mean, I watched him play in that game against who'd they play? Alabama versus Indiana. I watched him play against Indiana, and he looked lost out there, man. He looked lost.
It
So
makes me think, do you think that they made this Ty Simpson move knowing that they had a chance to get Miles Garrett? Like, or do
yeah,
you think they did anyway, no matter what?
yeah. Peter Schlager said Schlager, what the fuck is his name? He said that the Rams drafted Ty Simpson with the knowledge that they were going to push to get this
Pursue.
deal done. They had
Interesting.
been working on it for a while, the last couple months, trying to get
Right.
Cleveland to do it, and finally Cleveland just threw their hands up, said, "Okay, you have a deal." So
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is, but sucks as a Seahawk, 49ers, Cardinals fan. Sucks that he's in our division, but it is what it is. We'll have to deal with it.
hey, you
Let's
still
hear it.
got to come see Charles Cross. Charles
That just
Cross, you
sounds
go look at
funny
them
saying
stats.
that.
Go look at them stats. Go look at them stats. Last time he played.
Charles Cross and Abe Lucas were like, they were pissed when they saw this news.
Go look at Charles Cross's stats against Miles Garrett when they played last time.
I'll have to check that out. I'm not too aware of those stats.
0 quarterback pressures, 0 sacks.
And Cleveland was probably 2-14, looking nowhere.
That don't matter. Don't matter to me.
All
Still got to
right.
come see Charles Cross.
You still got to play the
And
games.
if he's smart, you go after Anthony Bradford.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Our interior, yeah. So again, sucks for Seahawk fans. Good for Rams fans. No one's really happy in this whole situation except
It
for them, I
sucks for
feel.
all NFC West fans that's not a Rams fan. 49ers, it sucks for them. I mean, they got to see them week 1 in Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, and their
I feel
defensive
sorry for
line,
you guys.
the 49ers defensive line could have used that help too because they were the bottom of the league last year in sacks.
Yeah, and the 49ers offensive line isn't very good. They're kind of old.
Like, good thing they signed Trent Williams to another little deal, right? I think Miles Garrett might blow his knee
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So, I
funny.
mean, and then the Cardinals, I mean, they're probably scared of anybody, so
I think they're
I
just
feel
gonna
sorry
let
for
him.
them.
I think they're just gonna let him tackle the quarterback. They're not even gonna try this year.
I think the Cardinals offensive line is pretty cheeks as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I
Yeah.
know they did get a couple of extra linemen help. I feel like their team we rag on them a lot just because they're bottom of the totem pole for the past few years, but I feel like they do have some good players, but we'll see. New head coach, all that. So, well, let's move on. Another breaking news today. It's not really breaking news. We kind of knew this. A.J. Brown getting traded to the Patriots in exchange for a first-round pick in 2028 and a fifth-round pick in 2027. Like I said, we knew this was going to happen. It's not really new news. There were some questions swarming around whether or not maybe the Rams would go for him or the Chiefs might go after him. Looks like the Eagles and Patriots stuck to their word, and they ended up going through with this trade. Good trade for the Patriots for sure.
Yeah.
And I think the Eagles saved, I think they said $50 million for cap space. So I think overall it's pretty fair deal for the most part.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
I think it was a good pickup for the Patriots as long as AJ Brown, doesn't start crying and throwing fits and stuff.
Start reading a book.
Yeah, I think it's a good pickup. I think Drake May will help him a lot.
Well, for
It'll
sure.
give him an actual number 1 target to throw a ball to. I think AJ will be happy because he's going to have an offensive, scheme that's going to allow him to get some action and
For
a quarterback
sure.
that can throw the ball to him.
Uh-huh.
I know we took some heat in our last couple of videos when I said that Jalen Hurts can't throw a football, but sorry.
I'd rather have Drake May over Jalen Hurts any day of the week.
Yeah, and then everyone
personally.
was arguing, well, I'm going to have to bust out the deep ball stats. Well, that's cool. But can he throw intermediate and down the middle of the field? No, he can't. So don't even come over here with that nonsense. But no, I think it'll be a good pairing. I think they'll play well together. We know Mike Vrabel has a history with AJ Brown because he played for the Titans and was with him before the front office decided to move on from him. Mm-hmm. So I think as long as Mike is being, Mike Vrabel and keeping his hands where they belong at his house and off of Diana Rossini and focusing on football, I think the Patriots could have a good locker room. They did last year. Yeah, I think they could help him and get everything squared away and back on the straight and narrow. So it'll be interesting. Yeah. It's one of those storylines that we're going to have to follow throughout the year, I think.
For sure. I do like this trade on both sides. Following the Patriots side, like you said, reunion with Mike Vrabel, that's pretty sweet. I know they probably pretty much liked each other over in Tennessee when they were there. It was not Mike Vrabel that was wanting to trade him either. It was really the front office. And then you see the Drake May being so young. like you said, getting that true number one wide receiver, that's huge. And I really do think after all this Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel stuff, I feel like this really will kind of bond the locker room together, like all against us type of mentality. And AJ Brown, I feel like, has a good head on his shoulders enough to kind of rally the players around him in football. So, but who knows after week 7 or 8 when, he doesn't get the ball, is he going to be throwing a tantrum or what's going on after that? And then on the Eagles side, I mean, you kind of saw the writing on the wall. You knew they were going to kind of get rid of him. Obviously, wasn't new news, but then them drafting Mekhi Lemon in the draft, they were preparing for this, saved a bunch of money. They're still a good team. They're probably going to win the NFC East. Now they can really go sign a big player if they need to, maybe at the trade deadline or maybe next year. If they have a hole in their roster, they can go out and get a big free agency signing potentially.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think when they drafted the wide receiver out of USC, Mekhi Lemon, I think we kind of knew the writing was on the wall at that
For
point,
sure.
that they were going to trade him. We just didn't know if it was going to be to the Patriots or not, even though it'd been rumored. So I think it's good for them. I mean, I don't think AJ Brown's a bad guy, but it cleans up a cancer in their locker room. You know what I mean? Like it expunges all that negative energy and allows for them to start growing and building again on a positive thing. I'm not too sold on the head coach still. I think he's got an attitude problem and he can be kind of a diva, but we'll just have to wait and see. That's
Eagles
all I
head
can do.
coach. What's his
Eagles
name
head
again?
coach. Yep.
I don't remember his name.
Something Italian.
Something
I
Italian.
can't remember. Yeah.
Anyway,
I
I was just looking
either.
at the Phillies wide receiver room, and it's actually pretty nice. They got Mekhi Lemon, obviously, from the draft. Devontae Smith, who's going to be the number one option now. Like, is he going to have a crazy year going off this year now with AJ Brown out of here?
Can
They
he
also
stay
picked
healthy?
staying healthy is a big one too, for sure. He's a scrawny guy, but
He is very small, very petite. So
I think he's kind
I
of
mean,
like a
he
what's his name, Tyler Lockett, where he knows how to get tackled. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, he's shown a history of being able to stay healthy. It's just I always wonder now because AJ Brown was the one that was catching those 50-50 jump balls. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Taking the hit. Is he going to be able to do that? I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know how big Mekhi Lemon is. I haven't really seen.
He seems like a smaller guy, but they also did get a few other wide receivers. They got the Tavian Wicks from the Green Bay Packers. They picked up Hollywood
Who?
Brown, Dontavian Wicks,
Who? No, I'm kidding.
Hollywood Brown, Elijah Moore.
Hollywood Brown is another one of those small receivers, though.
It
So do
seems
they
like their
have that?
whole room is pretty small. They don't really have a
Yeah,
big target guy
I
in
have a
that
big
locker
body guy
room.
out
They
there,
don't.
so
They really don't.
it'll
But
be interesting to
overall,
see.
it will be interesting. Overall, I think this will be a pretty good move for both teams. The Patriots did also sign Romeo Doubs to a 4-year deal too. He's from Green Bay as well, so their wide receiver room is probably looking pretty nice now too, with the addition of AJ Brown. So
Definitely looking a lot better than it
hey,
did.
and guess what? We're seeing them week 1, so we'll definitely see how that wide receiver room is. What do you think about that
Yep.
matchup now? Now knowing they signed AJ Brown,
I'm not worried about it. It
doesn't
usually
change a
takes some
thing.
time. Usually takes some time for a wide receiver and a quarterback to figure it
Yeah,
out. So I'm not too worried about it.
yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, they had Stephon Diggs and he couldn't get open at all. So
Yeah, he couldn't. I think Josh Joe blocked his ass down for
yeah,
most of the game. Awesome, man. So, yeah, I think that's pretty good for both teams, like I said. And then a couple other smaller news today. The Giants went ahead and signed a couple of veteran wide receivers. They went and signed OBJ, the return to New York for OBJ. And they also went and signed Juju Smith-Schuster and also Braxton Berrios. Kind of crazy to sign 3 receivers in one day. It makes you think about Malik Neighbors' injury. Is he not going to play the beginning of the year? Is he what's
I
his
saw a
timeline
video
looking
of
like?
I saw a video of him playing baseball and
No,
like
like a
what
celebrity
remember
baseball game.
yeah. And
Okay,
he was running to first base and he looked fine. He wasn't full out sprinting, but he was moving pretty good.
yeah. I'm trying to remember when his injury was during the year. I want to say it was like kind of middle beginning of the year,
It was the
like
beginning
maybe
of the year. It was like
within the first 6 weeks or so.
it was when the Giants played against Dallas and Russell Wilson. I think it was week 3 or week 4.
Yeah, so it's been almost a year, so it leads me to believe that he should be good going into this year,
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors. But with signing 3 other veteran wide receivers, is that like a concern that Giants fans should really be thinking about? Malik Neighbors, like what's going on?
No,
You don't think
I
so?
wouldn't. No, I think what they're doing is they're just creating a competition in depth. They're trying to get the best out of everybody. I
Yeah.
mean, we know that Malik Neighbors is going to be there. Who's number 2? You know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly, they did lose Wan'Dale Robinson, I believe, to the Tennessee Titans. He signed a big
I
deal with them.
I think it's just John Harbaugh creating a compete environment, you know?
Yeah, that makes
I
sense
wouldn't
too.
be too worried about it. I mean, Braxton Berrios, what is he gonna be, the kick returner?
Could be a kick returner, good, yeah, special teams guy potentially. Well, you
Uh,
got Juju Smith-Schuster could be making TikToks in the locker room with
yeah,
Jameis
he'll
Winston.
be he'll be cut by week 3. I'm not worried about him.
I don't think he'll make the team.
OBJ coming back. Did OBJ play last year?
Oh, I don't think he did.
I don't remember seeing any OBJ highlights, but I think he was healing up from an injury or something like that too.
Yeah, I think so too.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, you know, in New York, it's the media capital of the world. So if
Right.
something's going on weird there, we're gonna hear about it. So who
It seems
knows?
like OBJ, the last team he played for was the Dolphins. He signed and joined them in 2024. I don't even
See,
remember that.
I don't even remember that either. So
That's crazy. And then before that, he was with the Ravens, and then he won the Super Bowl with LA before that. So it's
yeah,
been a year or so with him not playing. But maybe, I mean, I feel like it's only beneficial to have one of the great wide receivers in that locker room to help Malik Neighbors and some of the other wide receivers that are in there that are young. So I don't
great.
mind. What,
Who's
OBJ?
great? No, bro. He had like one good catch that everyone had to
Dude,
dick
his
ride for
rookie
the
year was
next 4
insane.
years.
His rookie year was insane. He didn't play the first 4 games, and he went absolutely off. You can't say that he wasn't a good receiver
Okay,
for a great
he
receiver
had
for
a
this
Josh
generation.
Brown. He had a Josh Brown or Josh
Gordon.
Josh Gordon-esque rookie season and then disappeared.
All right, man. I don't want to get on the OBJ train.
No,
I'll
no.
pull out the stats right now. I'll pull up the stats. I'm a
Bro was
big
mid. He could
OBJ.
never remember OBJ on the Browns? I remember OBJ on the Browns.
Well, let's see OBJ on the Browns. Yeah, he only had 1,000-yard season on the Browns. I mean, yeah, you're kind of right. I wouldn't say great. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1,000-yard seasons, and some of those are
Does
like
thousand
1,005.
if 1,000 yard season makes you great, Tyler Lockett is goated.
Hey,
He's
Seahawk
the
legend.
greatest all time.
Seahawk legend.
What?
Seahawk legend.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not a Seahawks legend. I'm just saying you said great. We can't
In
throw
terms of,
around
I think
great.
in terms of like hands and catchability, he's one of the greater hands in the league in terms of catching the ball. I wouldn't say maybe the longevity of his career, maybe not a career great, but he had great hands. You can't deny that. He caught the
He
ball.
had one catch, and everyone decided to hop on the bandwagon.
Hey, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. But keeping it New York Giants news related, and kind of sprinkling a little Seahawks news. Russell Wilson seems to have potentially retired from the NFL. I'm not sure if he officially announced retirement, but he is CBS bound. He is going to the studio to do some commentary on some games. I am a Russell Wilson lover. I love that man for what he did for Seattle. Poor taste in my mouth when he got traded, but throughout the last couple years, kind of rejuvenated the love that I had for him. I think he's just a great guy overall in terms of, helping out the community. And when he was in Seattle, man, he was beloved. I think we should retire that jersey. I love that man. I'm done with the glaze right now, but he's off to the studio. And what are your thoughts on this?
It's about damn time.
That's fair. That's fair.
Russell, huge fan. I loved you when you were here. Pissed me off when you left, but you did things that nobody else ever did here. You know what I mean? You were the first to win a Super Bowl, bring a Super
Yep.
Bowl back home. I'll always be appreciative for that. I was a young buck in high school, sitting at home watching the games, watching you do your thing. So
Yeah.
I'm super appreciative for all the things that you did for the city of Seattle, with your visits to Seattle Children's, all the things that, Russ would do as being a
Mm-hmm.
great guy. I think Russ is one of the top dudes in the league, and I'm really happy that he is finally doing something other than playing football because his last couple years were
It was a
not
tough
very good.
watch. It was a tough watch,
Yes.
honestly.
It's like it's like watching your dad, when you're like a little kid, you like watch your dad and you're like young and he's like young and still strong and he's like running around and you're having fun and then like now you're like 30 and you like watch your dad struggle to get out of a chair and you're just like, man, I'm just so sad. It
Yeah,
was like that for me.
it
I was just
was.
like I was just like,
It's
Russ, it's
time.
time, brother. Hang him up.
It's
Hang him up.
time. Yeah,
It's time.
it was really a tough watch the past couple years. I feel like that kind of fed into the me re-liking him. You know what I mean? Because I just kind of felt bad for him the past couple
Feeling
years,
sorry, yeah.
feeling sorry for him. So I know he'll do a good job at the broadcast booth with CBS. So that is Pretty cool deal for me, and I know you too, and all Seahawk fans. We get to see a little bit more Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And anything else you wanted to talk about today, Chris?
Did you want to go touch base about the Mahomes update?
Well, for sure. So it looks like Patrick Mahomes, who tore his ACL week 15 of the season last year, it appears that he is limited capacity in OTAs this week. So they say he's way ahead of schedule. So that means he could definitely be potentially ready for week 1. Seahawks play him. I think it's week 7 or 8 potentially.
Yeah,
So
it's in
it
the middle
appears
of
he'll
the season.
definitely be back by then. So we're definitely looking forward to a Mahomes Sam Darnold matchup up here in Seattle. But definitely, it's kind of remarkable that he's able to come back, and like I said, like I think we talked about a little bit before with these leg injuries, you kind of almost assume it's going to be a full year, but it seems he might return within 9 months.
Yeah. It all just depends on how the body heals and how you take care of it and how you rest it. I watched the video of him out at training camp or OTAs,
Mm-hmm.
and he looked good. I mean, he had a
Yeah,
knee brace on and he had the heating pad and everything, and he was
of
doing his
course.
thing. But I mean, for him being removed for what was it, 4, 5, 6 months ago that he
Yeah,
injured it,
yeah,
I think he's looking pretty good. So I'm in the camp of I had serious doubt. I have a lot less doubt now that he's going to play. So I think he'll be there.
yeah. Maybe
The
he
man's
can
a
help.
man's a machine. He's a
Yeah,
workaholic. Go home, Patrick.
he's just one of those guys that spends all his money on taking care of his body, like LeBron or like
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Bobby Wagner did something like that too, where they spend millions of dollars a year on recovery. So kind of to be expected that he were to come back a little bit early from that, and maybe he can help his wide receiver Rashee Rice stay off the weed. You know what I mean? Kind of be like, hey man, we're all in. We're still going through it this year. We maybe you can go pay him a visit in jail. I don't know. What do you
I
think?
I think someone needs to whoop his ass. That's what I think needs to happen.
That might be the
Like
case too.
get your shit together. What are you doing, dude?
That's funny.
But no, I don't know. I'm not. We'll see. We have yet to see him. I mean, we haven't seen him, get under center. I didn't see him get under center. From what I saw, I think it was just a clip of him dropping back. So
Hmm.
we don't really know. I haven't seen too much lateral movement yet. So we'll have to wait and see
What do you
on how that
What do you
knee's
think of that
healing.
division going forward? I mean, you got the Broncos, you got the Kansas City Chiefs, you got the Chargers, and Clint Kubiak with the Raiders. I feel like that's going to be a really tough division. Who do you think wins that division going into next year? I mean, you got Bo Nix coming off an injury too. Not sure when his timetable is, but who do you have winning
Yeah,
that
Bo Nix
division?
just broke an ankle though. He'll be back in time. It only takes like 3 months, I think, for an ankle to heal or something like that. If I was to rank the division right now as it sits, it's going to be I would probably go 4 Las Vegas, 3 San Diego, 2 Chiefs, and 1 Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just because I think the Broncos defense is really good and Patrick Mahomes doesn't have enough weapons to slow it down.
So you think
you
Broncos
know,
run it back and win the division again?
Yeah, I mean, and it all depends, on how Bo Nix plays too.
For sure.
I didn't really like how Bo Nix played last year. I mean, he was good in spots, but he
Yeah,
looked
they
like he
they had
was
a
a
lot of
loss out
comebacks
there.
too. They had a lot of
Yeah,
comebacks. I remember that too. I remember the comeback against the Giants, and
but you know what they
they're a
say:
good team.
defense wins championships, and the Broncos have a hell of a defense. So,
They do. One
what does
thing,
Kansas City do to slow that down? That's my question. Because the offensive line for Kansas City hasn't got any better. They traded
mhm,
away their 2 cornerbacks.
yeah,
They lost those 2 people, so
Chris Jones, old.
yeah, he's still a good player, but he's not the player he once was 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Hmm.
So the back end is I just have a lot of questions. So I mean, yeah,
That's
Mahomes is
definitely
coming
fair.
back. That's cool. That's cool. He'll help you guys a little bit, but he's not going to take. You don't have the same defense he once had. So
I think
wait and see.
you're asking, you're comparing the wrong two teams. I think the Chargers are potentially going to be fighting for that first seed over the Chiefs. I
Nope.
think they have a lot
I don't.
less questions. They have a bit better defense than the Chiefs. I think they have a better run game with Omarion
Do they
Hampton
have a
coming
better
back.
defense? They lost their defensive coordinator.
I don't, who knows what the coaching change, but I think their defense is pretty solid. I think it's better than the Chiefs, especially losing their 2 cornerbacks. You know what I mean? And
Chargers lost players.
all the
Chargers
question marks
lost
on their
players on
team.
defense too.
Kind of,
The Broncos haven't lost. Didn't lose a single player on defense.
they lost their linebacker Greenlaw, right?
They got rid of him because he
They
was
got rid
ass.
of it. I don't know. I really do like the Chargers this year. I think Justin Herbert is a top 5 or 6 quarterback in the league. I think they have weapons on offense. I think they have one of the better offensive lines in the entire league, and I think their defense is solid. I think they have.
Go watch that game against Philadelphia when they have to play a real defense. What did he do?
Well, was this past year?
Yeah.
Well, that was when they had their two best offensive linemen not in the game.
Who's to say that they're not going to be here this year?
If everything goes to plan, they should be.
And if they are here, then who's going to stop who's in the middle that's going to keep them safe?
Right. Well, I think
that same offensive line is still there. They still have the same players in the middle. They just lost their tackles.
Right. And I think, when you do have a good offensive line, which I think they will once they get two of the best players back, because then you can kind of funnel people, towards them. They'll get a lot of the main look. They will be able to figure something out on that offensive line to be able to get that run game going, to be able to get that play action game going, to be able to get those wide receivers open. I think the Chargers have an opportunity to win that division. I really do. Maybe that's a hot take for you. I don't think it's that hot of a take because they've made the playoffs every year. John Harbaugh's been there.
I've seen people say that they think they're going to win, but I'm sorry. They're the Chargers. They've always been mediocre.
I know you disrespected them earlier. You said San Diego Chargers. They're in LA now, brother. See, that's how little you know.
San Diego. I feel for you.
I just think that division has questions at quarterback in terms of health of the Broncos and the Chiefs. Obviously, we just talked about Patrick Mahomes probably being back for week 1. I think there's an opportunity for the Chargers to potentially win that division. It's going to be a tough division no matter how you cut it anyway.
Now, if we're arguing the fact of Chargers 2, Chiefs 3, then I can have that argument. Like, yeah, maybe they're better than the Chiefs.
That's
the Chiefs
fair. Broncos are,
but I just don't think that they can handle the Broncos defense.
That's fair.
And whenever a big game comes down the pipeline, we know what Justin Herbert does. He folds, man. He folds like
You're kind of right on that. You're kind of right on that.
He is. So. You have to bring him inside once the wind starts getting above 15 miles an hour, because otherwise,
I don't think he has one playoff win.
No, he doesn't.
I don't think he has one playoff win, which is crazy. And I'm a fan of his too. So I just, as a fan of NFL, I hope he gets that win this year potentially, and winning the division.
I will never root for an Oregon Duck. It's not gonna happen. Sorry, Justin.
I don't have that fandom of college football like you.
Yeah.
Well, you're rooting for Bo Nix. Bo Nix is a Duck.
I said Bo Nix was mid.
Okay.
I did not root for him. I just said that I think the Broncos have a better team.
That's true. I do think you're right on that. I do think the Broncos are the better team. I just think the Chargers have an opportunity to maybe take that. But I do think it'll probably be Denver, and then, like I said, I think maybe Chiefs, or maybe Chargers, and then Chiefs, depending on the health of their players and stuff.
And, depending on how Clint does, he could shake the whole thing up down there and the old Las Vegas Raiders.
Fernando Mendoza could be him. And they have weapons, too. They do have weapons.
They do.
Bowers, their running back, Genty. They got a couple
My only
receivers.
question with the Raiders would be defense.
Yeah, they had so many picks this last year. It was a weak draft, but they added a lot to that team, a lot of competition. So who knows? Maybe the next couple of years they climb that ranks in that division.
Yeah,
and Clint Kubiak maybe surprise us.
Yeah, or he won't, and he'll be fired in 2 years, and he'll come back to Seattle and be the offense coordinator again.
That might be classic Raiders.
Yeah. All right. Tom Brady's there now. I think that they'll get it on the straight and narrow.
They'll have some continuity there for sure, I feel. I don't know. We'll see. Anything else you wanted to chat about today, Chris?
No, that's it, man. Just fuck the Cleveland Browns for ruining my season. Thank you.
Yeah, my day was ruined. I drove into work thinking that the Seahawks had an opportunity to maybe trade for him, and then I drove home from work just sad. Sad.
Sulking the whole way, just angry face the whole way home. See what you did, Cleveland?
Yeah.
Anybody else? You could have gave it to anybody else.
It's pretty sad.
Christ.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for today's episode of 4th and 12. If you enjoyed, drop us a like, subscribe, follow us on TikTok, YouTube. Like I said, we're just doing this for fun. We're having fun with it. More episodes will come, especially once the season gets a little bit closer. So appreciate you guys. And Chris, any last words?
That's it. Thank you. Appreciate it. As always, we out. Go Hawks.
Peace.
Hey everyone, thanks again for watching the 4th and 12th podcast. New episodes will be coming weekly as we continue to grow our content. If you like what you heard, please leave a like and hit the follow button down below. Thanks again for watching, and have a good night.